SYNX and salutations to everybody. First off, I want to say, y'all not gonna believe this. This some bullshit. Let me tell y'all what I just did. Y'all not gonna believe this. Do y'all know I was just sitting here talking into this damn camera and this microphone, thinking I'm recording and ain't shit recording. Y'all believe that shit? So I got to do the whole podcast over, but that's okay. I get to learn from the mistakes I just made, and trust me, I made a lot of mistakes a few minutes ago while I thought I was recording this podcast. But anyway, let's start it all over again. First off, I want to apologize to everybody that's tuning in that's thinking that I was going to have a guest this week. I had somebody scheduled, but they had a lot of things going on with them right now. And I'm all about mental health, physical health. So at this point in time, you know, I'm not about stressing nobody like that. So they gave their apologies a million times and everything like that. And we're going to have them on the show at another time. So for this go around, y'all going to get another introduction, but a little more in depth this go around. You're going to find out who I am. And with that, I am SYNX. It's pronounced SYNX, SYNX. The name actually came from something that I did back in high school with a couple of friends. We used to want to be rappers and everything like that. A couple of them actually did go on to be rappers, but I never was going to rap for real. But I had a rap name, and back in the day it was spelled S.INC for Scott Incorporated. Don't know where it came from, nothing like that. I'm just being honest with y'all. But a couple of years ago, I became fascinated with replacing I's with Y's and C's with X's. So here we are today. I replaced the I and the X, you got C. That's who I am. I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary for my first published work. The first book I published on my own was actually Vivid Dreams, a collection of sensual short stories. I did this after my homeboy reached out to me a couple of weeks prior to that. He was telling me how he had just published his first book on Amazon, and I'm like, "You published a book, my G?" And he was like, "Yeah, bro. It ain't hard. All you gotta do is do this, do that, do this." He like, "I'll help you out if you want." And all I could say back was, "You published a book, my G?" And he was like, "Yeah, man. I published a book. Oh, you trying to do it too?" And I was like, I thought about it for a little bit, and I was like, well, you know, I did used to write back in the day. Won a Young Authors of contest back in elementary school. Stunt, that's a stunt right there. Got that pizza party, tripping the limousine, but that's the National Parkway days from way back when, 97, 98. Woo, that was a long time ago right there. But anyway, yeah, he reached out to me. He showed me some of the ropes on publishing on Amazon, and here we are. This first book right here actually is a collection of short stories, real short stories, because at the time when I wrote this, I did not know that there is actual lengths that your stories have to be to consider it to be a short story. And to be honest with y'all, these stories don't meet that length. But that's what I call them, short stories. Like I said, at the time, a lot of growth has happened over this year. I've learned a lot. And I've been applying it to the work that I've been doing. But enough of that. Quick introduction of the book. Like I said, it's a collection of short stories. I think it's 5 stories in this, and out of the 5, a couple of them was something that I kind of wrote in my phone and sent it to my wife because I was at work bored and horny. It is what it is. We all adults out here, so I'm keeping it real with y'all. All the stories in here dealing with sex, as you can tell by the cover with the lady up there. Yeah. If you're looking for polished work, something with the correct spacings and all of that, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this ain't it. Like I said, I've been learning a lot about my craft over the years, so I've grown a lot. But this right here, you're gonna get raw, no direction in the game, SYNX right here. I did go back and make a couple of, corrections last month before a podcast. So it's definitely better than the original version that you may have or may seen. But if you try to go get the original version now, it's no longer available on Amazon. I've updated it with the new things, but it's still unpolished to me. It's not my best work, but it's my first work, which is just as important when you considering growth. These next two books, these are my babies right here. You got Le Phoenix from the Ashes and Le Phoenix Ascended. This is for my own Le Phoenix series books. The first book is volume 1 from the Ashes, actually follows a stripper named Lakita. And Lakita had it rough, man. She was the best stripper at this club called Crystal Rain. And long story short, some bullshit went down. And they actually killed my girl Lakita. But somehow she ends up coming back to life. And when she comes back, she got some powers with her, you know, X-Men type shit. But yeah, this first book is actually about her trying to figure out what happened the night she got killed and connecting all the dots and everything like that. Once again, I'm a big fan of sex. You can ask my wife about it. So this book, you got a lot of sex scenes in it. Yeah, it's a good one. It's definitely a good one. It's not that long. If I'm being real with you, I consider this my real first published book. It got story structure to it. Has some guidelines on how to format my stuff correctly. I took my time with this one. I didn't take a lot of time, but I took my time with this. Enough for me to be proud to say this is my real first published book on its own, standalone book on its own. Then we got volume 2. Volume 2 basically picks up where volume 1 left off at. She dives deeper into her history, find out what happened before then, and connect it to what's going on right now in the present. You get a bunch of new characters in here. You get some more characters with power, something that you didn't see in the first book. So, spoiler alert, the only person with powers in the first book is going to be Lakita. But the second one, you get a bunch more people with powers that are similar or different than Lakita, but it's definitely a good read. This one is a little bit longer than the first one. Like I said, I'm steady growing as an author out here. I'm a newbie. I'm a baby for real, but these two, bread and butter. This right here, you would definitely see the growth from volume 1 to volume 2. Volume 3 hopefully will be out sometime next year. I have not started writing on it yet. I'm currently working on another book called Power Circles, Family, Friends, and Killers. It's based off of the song by MMG with Rick Ross, Wale, Kendrick Lamar, Stanley, and Gunplay. You basically, in the story, you following along with the character who's based off Wale and everything. And in the story, you're gonna get a lot of heartbreak. You're gonna get some betrayal, some sins, some people dying, people killed, drug game. It's a lot in that story to unpack. That might be my new baby when it finally comes out. I'm hoping to have that out to y'all by the first of the year. I was telling everybody December, but I want it to be great, and I'm not gonna rush that process. That's something I've been struggling with everything that I do. I'm one of those people, I like to get it out. I don't like to waste no time. I want to push it out, but I've been slowly finding out that hurrying up and pushing stuff out is not always the best product. Kind of learned that from the second book from the Le Phoenix series, Le Phoenix Ascended. So I gotta continue to grow. So I'm gonna take my time with this one, give y'all more in depth. Maybe I might meet that bare minimum for novel length, which I think is what they say 40,000 words is the bare minimum. We might crack that. Hell, I'm gonna shoot past that. I'm gonna shoot for 50,000 words for it. All until the story is complete, because you never want to stretch your story further than what it needs to be. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be a series or if it's going to be a standalone book yet. Right now, the plot's still playing out in my head, so I don't know where I'm gonna go with it in the end. But we'll see. Like I said, I hope to have that to y'all early 2021. Also, I'm gonna start working on the follow-up to Vivid Dreams. That's gonna be Vivid Dreams Volume 2, which is gonna be a hell of a lot better than the first one, I promise y'all. But if you did enjoy the first one, you're gonna enjoy the second one a lot better. I'm gonna get more details. The stories are gonna be more in depth. You're gonna get better character development. You're gonna get to know the characters. They're still gonna be short stories, but they're not gonna be short like they were in the first book. So I'm gonna give y'all a nice length, just enough to get y'all enticed and y'all be like, damn, I wanted more. So that's the goals with that one. So those 2 books are in the works. By in the works, I mean they playing out in my head, or I actually started writing. That's who I am, SYNX the author, your favorite new author. I like that tagline. But my company is SYNX Productions. We started out last year. I used that to actually publish my first book on Amazon. So that's the company I've been publishing under for tax reasons and everything. And it sounds cool when you tell everybody I got a company. Honestly, that's the #1 stunt right now, to have your own company. But yeah, underneath my company, I have 2 other authors. The first author is T.E. Red. Her book is out right now. It's called Sins of the Father. And if I have to describe it real briefly, I say think of it as The Godfather mixed with interracial love story. If y'all into that type of thing, you into mafia books, y'all should definitely check that out. What I'll do is I'll leave the link down in the description so y'all can pick that up if that's your thing. The other author I have underneath of me is another female. Her name is Kamari E. Her debut book it's on the way. It's called After the Rain, and all I can tell y'all is that's a lot. That's a lot. It deals with a lot of trauma, abuse, love, learning how to be loved again. So that's gonna be a definitely picker-upper for everybody. I know some ladies out there who's probably experienced a lot of things that happen in this book. It may be triggering, but also it may be therapeutic for them. So when that drops, I definitely let everybody know it's going to be on our pages and on her page as well. So let's talk about this podcast a little bit. The way this podcast came about basically was that I wanted to do a podcast. I kept thinking about it, and then Miss Nia from the Hood Delights podcast reached out to me a couple of weeks ago and asked me to be on her podcast, and I kind of took that as confirmation from the good Lord that I need to go ahead and do what I've been thinking about doing. So I had a good experience on her show, so I went ahead and started getting my equipment bit by bits, because you can't buy outright unless you just out here flossing like that. I'm not going to front with y'all. It took me a couple of months to accumulate all this equipment that I needed. But hey, we got it. We here. We publishing. We podcasting. Hey, YouTube. We shooting. We all of that. So on this podcast, the best way to describe it is I kind of want to take that Joe Rogan podcast format where I have interviews with people. I'm different people, different genres. I want to talk to authors. I want to talk to people about real estate. I want to talk to people about health. I want to talk about people about different careers, people about their passions and everything like that. Like, it's no set structure. I know a lot of people are thinking, it's an author, so it's going to be about books, but I'm not just going to be interviewing authors. I'm going to be interviewing anybody I find interesting. And if you're interested in being in a podcast, make sure you reach out to me. You can reach out to me via Instagram, via email. I leave all that information in descriptions on YouTube and on the podcast, so y'all can hit me up if you're interested. I had one individual already reach out to me, and I was shocked. It was like, hey, bro, I'm trying to be on your podcast. And I'm like, I ain't even put my first show out yet, but okay, cool. He's an author. I don't want to mispronounce his name and disrespect him like that, but I got him coming up in December. Um, I'm still checking out his work right now, so hopefully by the time we have his show, I'll know more about him. Because like I said, this guy reached out to me out the blue, but much respect for wanting to be on the podcast. So I gotta show love. If you showing love like that, I gotta show love too. So I gotta check out his work and see what he's all about. Next week we have one of my best friends coming on board, the homie Dean Rowe. Very interesting man. This man, he made incredible life change out of how you put it. He made this change in his life where it was nothing but God. I'm not gonna tell his story because I'm gonna have him come on board next week and give you the story. But long story short, he saw some things coming in the future and he made some change, stepped out on faith, and he out here flossing right now. He out here shining. He putting on for his family and his city. He looking out for everybody. So we gonna have him come on board. He's gonna give us some real estate tips. He may talk to us about motorcycles. He may talk to us a little bit more about kids and everything, about helping the community. He's an all-around good dude. Following up with him, the following week we got my one of my old running buddies from the Air Force, Mr. Paul Gibbs, or Gibbs as I call him. He recently started going vegan, and he's always been about a healthy lifestyle. So we're gonna have him on board to talk about health, the vegan lifestyle, just being healthy out here. He gonna tell y'all about sea moss. Trust me, he gonna promote the hell out some sea moss, and y'all gonna be like, I gotta buy some sea moss because of what this man is spitting. So we're gonna have him on board. And the following week, we got another Air Force friend of mine, Mr. Donnell Lancaster, or as y'all may know, as some may know him as Mr. Night Trainer Producer. He's another real estate mogul out here making big moves, but he's also a music producer. He's been producing music for a long time in the Hampton Roads area and in the DMV area for artists. So we're gonna have him to come on board. We're gonna get another dose of real estate education and some music education. And then following that, we got more people coming. I can't tell you everybody off the top of my head because the list is long and I gotta reach out to confirm with more people, but trust me, we are set with guests, but I'm always accepting more guests. So once again, if you want to be on the show, just reach out to me and let me know. If you show love, I'm showing love. Once again, I apologize to everybody that came today thinking that they was going to get their first interview. Like I said, health is important to me. Stress, no stress. Our original guests, we will see them later on in the year for another show. But thank y'all for checking me out today. Make sure y'all subscribe. If you on YouTube, subscribe, hit the button, sign up for the notifications. If you on the podcast, make sure you subscribe to that too. We are now officially on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and a bunch of other ones that I do not know the name that Apple automatically signed me up for when I got the podcast rolling. So make sure we on all different type of platforms. It can just support. And once again, thank y'all for coming out and listening to me. I'll talk with y'all next week. It's your boy SYNX, your favorite new author, and I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.